Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we got ranking the best power forward from every NBA team. Video by Austin Sweat. Link to his channel in the description below. So yeah, my favorite team's power forward is Blake Griffin. And word on the block is that he is going to miss the entire season with knee surgery or injury or something. Sad times, man. Let's get going.
The best power forward from
Sad
every
times.
NBA team. I got a ton of new video ideas coming up, but I've also started a lot of ideas I haven't finished yet, so I'm going ahead and finishing the rankings from every position for the year.
Fair enough.
Make sure you subscribe now though, so you can stay tuned for the new videos coming up, but for now, here's number 30. Kelly Olynyk.
Freaking fall off, man.
He's not a starter, but he's Miami's best power forward right now. 29.
Duncan Robinson says hello. Unless he plays. No, he plays. Yeah, because Tyler Duncan Robinson's better than Kelly Olynyk.
Goes to Dario Saric from the Suns. And at this point, it looks like Saric just isn't going to be the player people thought he would. 28, the Hornets with PJ Washington.
Damn.
Next, 27 goes.
What? Wait, what did you say about PJ?
Be the player people thought he would. 28, the Hornets with PJ Washington. Next.
Next? I thought I'm not gonna lie, man. I thought he said bust. I thought he said bust. Come on, man. PJ Washington's nice.
27 goes to the Nets for Taurean Prince. Power forward clearly isn't his natural position, but it's the opportunity he was given. He'll be a good role player when his team's healthy, but it doesn't look like.
Oh, it's like Taurean.
The Spurs take 26 for Rudy Gay, and there's nothing exciting here. For the past 3 years, Rudy's been playing as good as he is.
Ain't LaMarcus power forward?
And he's been in the exact same.
What do he play?
Then Rui Hachimura takes 25 for the Wizards, and this man's one of the very few things Wizards fans.
I thought LaMarcus Aldridge was power forward. I could be wrong.
He hasn't been talked about too much, but he's shown a lot of potential early on. 24 goes to Marvin Bagley and the Kings. And I wanted this to be Bagley's year, and I wanted to rank him higher, but he's been injured most of the season and hasn't played enough games to earn a starting spot or prove that he's any better than he was last year. The Kings still have very high hopes for him, but as of right now, we can't assume that he's any better than last season. 23, the Magic and Eric Gordon. Now, I've officially
he need to be traded.
Honestly, I've never been a fan of his playstyle and wasn't confident he'd ever be able to make it to that next level.
I've not given up on Gordon. I just think he needs a new opportunity. He needs a new coach. He needs a new system around him. I still think, with that athleticism and his ability to sometimes knock down three-point shots, he can be pretty solid.
But I still had hope. And now I think we can all
damn, look at that dunk.
It's probably just not going to happen. Good role player, but definitely underperforming for a former 4th overall pick. Then there's PJ Tucker at 22 for the Rockets, who you always know what you're going to get from him. Great defense, 3-point shooting, and the most effort on the court every single
corner
night.
Shots.
He's a great fit and one of the better role players in the league, but still 6'5" at power forward. I've always felt that the Rockets would be...
I don't care how tall he is, the man's great at defense. I mean, he's good at defense. I don't care about his height.
Much better off with him at small forward and the true power
forward. He'd be 5'5" play like that, I won't care.
But they've still always stuck with him. Someone who won't be an undersized power forward, though, is 21 in Zion Williamson for the Pelicans. I get that little baby Zion who had to learn how to walk.
And he only 6'6"?
Yeah, making this video, so it was tricky to rank him. When he does play, though, and if he stays healthy, I'd expect him to be right around a 20-point per game kind of scorer.
He's literally an inch taller than PJ.
If he comes out and does that, he could definitely be approaching the top 10 power forwards. But again, since he hasn't played, this is where I think he'd end up in a worst-case scenario. But speaking of worst-case scenario, that seems to be what this year has been for Lauri Markkanen at 20 for the Bulls. I mean, I don't know what was going on with him to start the year. He's been one of the young players who was thought to have some of the most potential.
Yeah, people were talking like top 10 power forward.
But came out this season looking like a different player. He's slowly starting to turn things back around, but still isn't always
Laurie, more like Dory
like this isn't
for Finding Nemo. Because he forgot how to play basketball. I don't know. It's the new year, man. The jokes are still kind of coming into full play.
Great sign for his future. And the entire Bulls team still isn't great.
Wasn't bad.
But hopefully, once they get a new coach, things will change. On the other hand, the Nuggets still have been great, and 19 blocks for them for Paul Millsap. Even though Paul's not a fantastic player, he's still a leader and a guy any team
because he's slow as molasses.
Plus, he's playing limited minutes this year, but has been extremely efficient shooting-wise while doing so. Someone not always so efficient plays for the Blazers, in Carmelo Anthony at 18. And yeah, Melo's finally accepted a role as a third option on the Blazers, and his game is just as good as it was when he left.
That's pretty cool though. He's at 18, not gonna lie.
It's his fault that the Blazers are still bad.
Good for that man.
But he's still a ball stopper on offense. I just thought once he came back, maybe he'd come back playing a different style too.
Hell no. Hell no. We tried that shit with OKC and the Houston Rockets. Like, if you want Melo on your team, you got to unleash the beast. Let him play his style. Like, I don't know, like, I'm all for Melo playing his style, but if you play your style, you got like a third or fourth option mindset, it's all good in my book. Like, if he's coming out this, doing this shit, taking the ball away from Damian, it's a different, it's a different story. But no, I'm not trying to fit Melo into a system where Melo is the system.
But I guess that was too much to ask. The majority of his offensive game still comes from standing back until he gets the ball.
Melo is the system.
He takes the defender on one-on-one while his teammates sit back and watch.
He gets buckets every time.
He's averaging 1 assist a game this year and still has some pretty bad shooting nights. But I guess it's clear that's the only style he knows how to play. I'm not trying to knock him too much though. The Blazers did need another scorer, and that's exactly what they got. I just want to see him do a little more.
Let the point guard pass.
And if he does,
let Melo be Melo.
17 goes to the Grizzlies for Jaren Jackson Jr., who's currently averaging 17 a game and was a star on defense last year. Not as much this year though. If he was, he'd rank a lot higher.
Well, Clark's taking some of that too.
He's still a good defender, but as his offensive game has gotten better this season, his defense did the opposite. It's not terrible though, because now we've seen that he has potential on both ends. You just gotta learn to excel in both every night.
Yeah, Grizzlies in a good place.
The Thunder and Danilo Gallinari. I think it's safe to say Gallinari's been an extremely underrated role player.
17 points,
because he gets injured
6 rebounds, 6 assists.
4 of the past 5 seasons, he's averaged nearly 20 points a game on almost 40% from 3. Next year, he said he wants to play for a contender, and that's when we'll get to see what he's really made of. We also need to hurry up and get Robert Covington on a playoff team, because he's the 15th highest ranked power forward for the Timberwolves. And overall, Robert's one of the best defenders in the league.
See, sometimes I get kind of like gabble-stopped about when, just confused. When people talk about, well, we need to get so-and-so on a playoff team. Like, we got to get Derrick Rose off the Pistons on a playoff team. We got to get Robert Covington on a playoff team. Gallo wants to play for a contender. If these players want these things and they're starters or playing lots of minutes, that's on them for not being in those situations, because you're on the basketball team. So if you want to play for a contender, you want a guy contender, make the damn Timberwolves a contender, Robert Covington. Like, do that. If you're as great as everybody says you are, I think Robert Covington. I'm just saying, I don't know, man. Maybe it doesn't make sense. I just it's almost like not. It's almost may not make. It's not making the players accountable. It's not making the players accountable.
And even though he only averages 12 points a game, it was an easy choice to rank him here.
I lost my driver's license today, man.
Who aren't known for their defense. And like I said, he's another guy we really.
I tried picking up some Captain Morgan for the Flight Rex drinking game. I couldn't get it.
The Pacers.
It's kind of embarrassing
at
the grocery store.
And he comes
long
in
day,
14.
Man. Long day.
And as expected, he's having a breakout year.
Some bonus. You got some bonus at number 14, bro. You should be top 10.
13 on 50% shooting.
Top 10.
He's one of the very few big men left that just doesn't shoot threes, and also one of the very few big men that has made it work.
He partakes.
Hopefully he can develop a shot throughout his career, though.
He partakes, man. He partakes.
He won't always fit in on every team. 13, John Collins for the Hawks. When not failing a drug test, Collins is without a doubt one of the best true power forwards in the NBA.
I'll take the bonus
and easily
over
a future all-star when he gets a little better from mid-range and 3, because he's already one of the best finishers.
I'll take the bonus.
Now, I don't know that he'll ever be a superstar or anything, but he definitely makes for the perfect second option. Number 12, the Knicks and Julius Randle.
Over Sabonis? Come on, cuh. What as Chris Smooth would say.
The John Collins because of how complete his game is.
As Kristen Flake should not say
anymore.
anymore.
Off the bench half of last season and averaging 21 a game though, I did think for the Knicks Julius would have come out averaging much better numbers this year, but he's averaging nearly the same, putting up 19.
Yeah, he averaging a freaking G League spot.
It's alright though, because his game away from the stats has gotten a lot better. He's become a player that can score from 3, off the dribble, in the post, rebound, and defend. But sadly, he's on a 3-year deal for the Knicks. Another good player still on a bad team is Kevin Love for the Cavs.
That make the team good.
Who would rank higher on a contender, but until then, I've still got nothing to say about him. And now we're finally into the top 10, where we're going to compare players' rankings to what I had them ranked last year in 2019's power forward rankings. Not everyone has a ranking to compare though, because some players did.
I'm surprised you haven't said Blake Griffin yet. Like, Griffin's not done shit this season. All these guys that you are listing has played better than Blake Griffin in the 2019-2020 NBA season. The man's shooting like 23% when he plays.
Didn't play power forward.
All these guys should be higher
10,
than Blake Griffin.
Draymond Green for the Warriors, who took a huge drop from last season's ranking. I mean,
see, I'm not biased, guys.
I'm
a realistic fan.
We've seen how good he's been in the playoffs and why he ranked in at number 4 last season. But he drops to 10 this year because he's proving that he's just a very good third option or even a great role player. I mean, it's him and D'Angelo this season, and D'Angelo's stepping up, while Draymond's averaging the same numbers he always has, and isn't stepping up and leading the team like he should be.
He's just not that type of player.
Number 9, Montrezl Harrell for the Clippers. One half of the best bench duo in the league. He didn't get ranked last year because I only ranked starters, which was a mistake, but I had to put him in the top 10 now. And he's this good off the bench. I'm thinking he's going to be a guy like Sabonis, where when he gets a chance to start, he'll be that much better, and will get ranked.
Yeah, he'll be an all-star eventually.
Someone who should maybe try coming off the bench like Harrell is Al Horford at 8 for the 76ers. He played center last season for Boston, but transitioned to a power forward to play in Philly alongside Joel Embiid. And I say he should come off the bench because he's recently come out and said he isn't happy with his role on the team right now, and doesn't feel like he's able to contribute as much as he knows he can.
And he hasn't been.
How much talent
which why shouldn't be this high up?
Lineup, and with how little floor spacing they have, I think it'd be a good idea to try and let him lead the second unit. That way he'll make their bench better, and will get as many scoring opportunities as he wants. Either way though, he ranks here for how good he is as an all-around player. Number 7,
fair enough.
the Mavs and Kristaps Porzingis.
Kristaps.
He's taken a pretty big drop from the number 5 spot he would have ranked last season if healthy. But even down to number 7 isn't too bad considering his situation.
That numbers are down a little bit.
First season after missing an entire year, on a new team with a completely different system, playing with a potential MVP, and under a new head coach all at once. Just as good on defense, but is still learning to play the new style Carlisle and the Mavs want from him, alongside learning to be a true second option.
Screw them post-ups.
So far, he's doing a pretty good job.
Screw them post-up, Carlisle says.
He's also doing a great job on their new team in Bojan Bogdanovic for the Jazz.
Number 6 for Bojan? Oh my, like, I feel like people are going to be like, Crispy, you're disrespecting Bojan. But, like, I'm not. I just don't think he's the 6th best power forward in the NBA. That's all I'm saying. Like, I respect he's a baller. He ain't 6th best power forward.
I mean, Utah plays 3 small forwards. Royce O'Neal, Joe Ingles, and Bojan. I already put Ingles in the small forward video, so we're going with Bojan.
Damn, though, number 6!
Who also doesn't have a ranking to compare to from last year. But this man's one of, I'll say it, he's the most underrated player in the NBA. He's great on defense, is averaging 20 a game right now, and is shooting 43% from 3.
Okay, Gallinari's not exactly killing the defensive sheets, but I'm sure he's not a bad defender. And look how far he's averaging like the same stats. Like look at the discrepancy.
And he's the ultimate team player that's given the Jazz a completely different look. And I'm convinced if he was the best player on the team, he could be an all-star. Then the Pistons take number 5 for Blake Griffin. And after having the best season of his career last year, and ranking in as the 2nd best power forward in the league, he's right in the middle of the worst season of his career, but still ranks as a top 5 power forward. Because he played through his knee injury last year in the playoffs, came back late this year because of it, and is still dealing with some soreness from day to day. So we're gonna hope that everything going on with him is just because of his knee, and that he'll start to be himself again pretty soon. Then number 4
gonna get shut down for the season.
Jayson Tatum. Honestly, this ranking seems a little too high for Tatum, but due to the fact that guys like Horford, Kristaps, and Blake, who I usually wouldn't rank below Tatum, are having bad
Tatum's
years,
balling out, so good for the kid.
From it and ranks ahead.
Look at that pass.
And he doesn't have a ranking to compare to from last year because he played small forward. But honestly, either way, he's playing great this year. Him and Jaylen Brown have really become a 1-2 punch as second options behind Kemba, and they've really come into their own and shown the type of development we've wanted to see from them.
They're looking like a contender.
I'm just looking for Tatum to be a little more aggressive driving to the basket because his game mainly consists of jump shots. Pascal Siakam also obviously is improved.
There we go. I like Pascal.
And is leading the Raptors and comes in at number 3 for them. He was ranked 9 last season and moved up 6 spots in 1 year.
So number 2, Kawhi?
3 now. And there were
we got
questions
Montrezl
early on
there.
if he could keep up this pace, averaging
Giannis and AD.
Okay.
Giannis
And he's
and
been
AD.
doing it while putting up 40% from 3 and leading the Raptors to one of the best records in the league. Even though he's been dealing with some injuries, he'll definitely be an all-star this year, and he's successfully made his name as a top player in the NBA.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Number 2,
I like Pascal.
The Lakers and Anthony Davis. Davis played center last year, but this season he's been back to his natural position. And he couldn't possibly be any more of a better fit with LeBron. Right now at this point, he's definitely a frontrunner for defensive player, and he's also leading the Lakers in scoring.
Yeah, he had like 8 blocks against Detroit. Threw everything back.
The second best power forward in the league, and would also put up a good argument for the #1 spot too. But he definitely doesn't take it because it belongs to Giannis, who took the #1 spot last year too, of course, and just like every year, he's still getting better, averaging 30, 13, and 5 on 33% from 3, and is leading his team to the best record in the league again. I mean, you can make the argument for Davis being the better overall player, but I'm still definitely taking the former and potential 2-time MVP any day. I will say the top 10 for this video was much harder to come up with than it was for the other positions, based on where a lot of players are currently in their career.
Yeah, and that's what, like, that's the toughest thing about ranking videos, where it's like Blake Griffin, when healthy as a top 5 power forward, but this season, the 2019-2020 season, he's been complete garbage even when playing. Like, that could be because of injury, but that's still what he should be judged on this year. So, overall, though, that's the end of the video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.